So what is going on YouTube? This is gonna be my first video, so be patient. But this is a 1996 12 valve Cummins 2-wheel drive, nothing fancy. Today we are going to be doing a foot plate cover. So I don't know if you can see it, but you can from here. There is a lift pump, mechanical lift pump in there. Obviously you see the blue line, so I have swapped it out with a fast. So we're getting rid of that mechanical fuel pump. A little introduction to this truck. Like I said, it's 96 12 valve Cummins 2-wheel drive, not a 4-wheel drive. But some things that I've done are the radio and the three of these gauges, boost, EGTs, and fuel pressure. Yes, they are glow shade gauges, but they work for me, and I haven't had a problem with them. Also, I have put traction bars, Longhorn Fab traction bars on this truck. As you can see, they're powder coated in maroon. Hopefully we can start doing the rest of the suspension in the same color. And then I've got a fast fuel pump. It's a fast 220 fuel pump with a Beans micro sump. As you can see right there, Beans micro sump. I'm missing a hubcap, which I actually have ordered, so I have to get one of those. But plan is to do the leaf springs next in powder coat and paint this axle and lift this bed up and restart repainting the frame. LED taillights were on it before I bought the truck, along with the 5-inch exhaust. It's 5-inch from the turbo back with a 8-inch tip, maybe, I think, or a 7-inch tip. I've slowly been working on having the engine bay powder coated, but then I realized I don't like blue, so we're gonna have to have all this redone in the maroon. That'll go later on when I actually start working on the engine bay more instead of the suspension and body. S&B cooler intake, whole slip big single turbo. I'm working on getting a dual intake horn with a plenum. Still haven't gotten that yet. Working on that, and I do have line lock in here, but I only put that in here so I could actually ship the truck to Hawaii for now. So it would act as my e-brake, basically, in a sense. So I could actually even get the truck shipped out here. Gonna be doing a lot of new things, like new rubber seals and whatnot all over the truck. And we're gonna be paint matching this bumper, putting in a black grill, and getting the wheels powder coated in black. That'll be happening as well. As for the bumper, I plan on putting a 32-inch light bar in the front, and then 4th gen fog lights that are LED to match the LED headlights that are in it. And I'm going to be doing the undervalence with LED lights going across that as well. Also, something that we're going to be doing, it is a 2-wheel drive, and I know a lot of my 2-wheel drive folks have had these spacers that are in here for the lift. For a leveling kit. Well, we're going to be taking those out actually and doing a 3rd gen suspension. So what I've got so far are, you use 2nd gen lower control arms, right? But then you use 2nd gen upper control arms, but a 3rd gen drop spindle. And then you use these stock spring isolators. I've picked up like sway bar links and stuff like that to replace as it goes, sway bar bushings. You use 3rd gen wheel hub assemblies, 3rd gen brake calipers with 2nd gen steel 4-wheel drive brake lines, and a 3rd gen 3.5-inch drop spindle. We will be doing that, and I will be making a video on that for leveling the truck out and actually providing a little bit better of a level. So here I can stick my pinky and thumb, and I'm like more like that, and it's touching right back here. It's almost a full splay. I can't quite do it. I think it's 1 inch taller when you actually take a tape to it in the back than it is in the front. So it's not your true 3-inch level like they say. And then, you know, the trucks, 2-wheel drive guys will vouch this. Put the lift pucks in there and it rides rougher and rough. So we're going to be doing the 3rd gen front end, and hopefully that'll smoothing out the ride. We're going to be doing Fox shocks as well. That's kind of just the introduction for this truck for now. I do have 4th gen tow mirrors to put on here, and we will be doing a lot to this interior. This eventually black interior with aluminum dash and an aluminum center console. I'll put the picture of the aluminum dash that the guy's making for these trucks. He's still in the process of making it, so he hasn't finished that process yet, but once he does, y'all will be able to order it on LRC. I'll put the picture in the video for you guys right here. Yeah, but let's get started on that fuel plate cover. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get to it from in here. Hopefully we don't have to take too much out the way. We just have 2 bolts we have to get out. Other than that, shouldn't be too bad. This is what that fuel plate cover looks like. It is literally just a metal bracket with 2 bolts and a gasket. That's the gasket, and then 2 bolts go in there. So hopefully we can get that put in today and get rid of that aftermarket lift pump, or that stock lift pump that's just sitting there doing nothing. Okay, y'all, so right here is the factory pump. All right, right there. The lift pump is right next to it, the mechanical lift pump that actually has a plunger on the end of it that's cam driven, so it drives off the camshaft. All right, there's 2 10mm bolts on each side of it, one of them being right here and the other side just being on the other side of this. That's what we're going to be taking off. I'm sorry, this is the rack and pinion. I can't really move it to get out of the way.
Never tell a fact that I never stay running. Sipping on facts, damn, know I got stacks in the lab. Taking bitches straight for another cat. Right shit, one I never had shit. Bitch, move, make your motherfucking head split. Cost me the loss, never really don't pay shit. Got me never really don't chase it. Dreams to the plate, no flake. Ass to the way, niggas know I ain't play. Fast to the break when I switch all day. Stance when I press to the damn arcade. Sticking up sides, read never mind me.
This is the plunger that I was telling you guys, that's in the lift pump that can fall out, so that can go into the block, which you don't want. But it can be pretty hard to, like mine's pretty stiff because my lift pump was going out. But yeah, this is the lift pump out. I just cut the rubber line to take it off for the return line when I put the fasten in. And that is kind of left it like this for a while. Technically, there's nothing saying that you can't just run it straight up like this. Just leaving it in there, it's not going to technically give you any issues as long as you unplug the pump itself, the electronic pump feeding the fuel from the tank. Just unplug that and you should be good if you don't want to do the block off plate. But if you're like me and you're kind of picky, you'll buy this and put it on there, shed a pound or 2. So I don't know if you can see, but there's the hole in there where the fuel pump was, or lift pump, that we're now going to be putting the block off plate in replace of. There's just a gasket and 2 bolts. You could reuse these bolts, but I think they'll be a little bit longer because they're short. So like right here, you can tell the old ones are a little bit longer, but these are an Allen key. So I'm gonna use the new ones just because why not? Also, you know, professional work, right? There's the hole a little bit better if you can't see it. Right there. Right, yeah. Right there. So that's the hole that we're going to be covering up. And now we won't have a big lift pump here on the side or a fuel bowl. So it used to be the fuel filter bowl that sat right underneath all this mess in here. But then we put the FAST in, which got rid of it by bypassing all that with the 1/2-inch fuel line. So yeah, let's get started to putting that together. So we have it installed. We'll go down here. You can see that silver plate right there in the center of the screen. That is the lift, or the lift plump block off plate. Got that from Dave's Diesel when I ordered the Fast. It took a little bit longer for it to get here because manufacturing messed up on the shipping on it, but it is on, and there's now no lift pump there. You know, shave all 2 ounces off. There's just 2 bolts that hold this whole assembly on right here. 2 10mm bolts, and then this gasket. Take those off. Be careful not to drop that plunger. I can't emphasize that enough, because then you have to take your oil pan off. Now we all know that, you know, 12 valves leak a little bit out of the oil pan. I actually am getting ready to put an oil pan gasket on it here soon, which I will be making a video of. So yeah, that so far is the 96 12 valve. For some of you who haven't done gauges yet, I'll do an actual in-depth video on how I did that, but here's the EGT probe going into the manifold, and then my boost pressure is right here where my fingers are, going into the plenum. And then for the fuel pressure, I actually have it hooked up to the Fast, because originally when I had the lift pump on, it was hooked up right here with a splicing, not with a splicing piece, but with a banjo bolt that was specific for adding a fuel pressure gauge to it and a fuel pressure snubber valve. We actually had to move those back here to the lift pump right there on the front. You can see the wire hanging right here for it, which goes up to right here where it's at. So I'm reading out of my Fast fuel pump now, which is constantly at 45 psi. Idle, wide open throttle, WOT, constant 45, doesn't go up, doesn't go down. So the spring pressure set for it. Whatever fuel is not used through the injector return line, obviously it goes into a T-fitting back there that just runs back in the tank, so you never really have to worry about that too much. KDP has been done in this truck, for those that might comment or concern. And the timing's been advanced on the injection pump by 18 degrees. That's really it that's been done to this truck so far, besides the turbo and the SMB cold air intake and a 0 fuel plate. There will be a lot more to come, so stay tuned to the channel. Like I said, we're going to be doing a bumper match, paint match. We're going to be doing black wheels. We're just actually going to get these powder coated in black because I really like these wheels. And we're going to be doing 4th gen tow mirrors. I will make a video for the gauges for people on how I routed the wires and everything. Also, we'll be doing a wire tuck on this truck because I do want to make this truck very show truck style. Yes, it's going to be a pavement princess. It's a 2-wheel drive truck, guys. We'll be doing a flatbed on it as well, because it is going to also, when I go back to mainland, haul trailers for me with like a built 4-wheel drive truck, or my motorcycles, which I have right there. An R1 that I'm working on building, and the Suzuki is not mine, it's a buddy of mine, so I actually got to do a wiring diagnostic on. Could have told you that, me and a jigsaw. But yeah, we'll be doing Mishimoto intercooler, radiator, transmission cooler, and then we're going to be relocating the AC condenser. The AC does work on this truck, and I want to keep it that way. So stay tuned to the channel, like and subscribe down below. Also, I have merch, which I'll put in the link right here on the screen. There's merch there for shirts and t-shirts, sweatshirts, and soon going to be doing baseball hats. My wife is a part of that the merch page, so she's got some stuff that she's put on there herself. I've got truck stuff on there. They're truck shirts that are designated for trucks, so if you want to buy some merch, support the channel, make sure you go to that link, buy some shirts, and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Thank you.